it's Mrs. McNamara here. How are you doing today? I'm here because we're going to do a review about the main idea once again. And the reason we keep revisiting it is because it's an extremely important skill to create better readers and writers. When we're thinking about the main idea, we're thinking about what the text is mostly about. And there are some clues that tell us that. It tells us, if this says, what is the text mostly about? It's asking for the main idea. If it's asking us to think about the title, it's asking us for the main idea. The title, boys and girls, gives us an idea about what the text is mostly about. If we look at the pictures, okay, sometimes you find it in the first or the last sentence, or it's a word or a phrase that is used over and over and over. It is repeated over and over again. That tells us what the main idea of the story is. So, I have some stories here that we've shared, and I'm going to look at Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. I know we shared this earlier in the school year. We always come back and revisit books for different purposes. So we talked about this book, and by just reading the title, what do we think the story is going to be mostly about? Very good. His Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. We also talked about how we can find it in the first or the last sentence or repeated lines. Let me read a little bit. I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. Guess whose mother forgot to put in dessert? I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. Nick started to cry, and I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. What line is repeated over and over again? Very good. It's going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. Okay? So repeated lines, we kept hearing that the last sentence on most pages. So I'm thinking that's what the story is mostly about. And the title also says Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. That is the main idea, what the story is mostly about. Okay? Another book we've shared is The Tiny Seed. Okay? Thinking about the title, The Tiny Seed. I see a flower and I see a seed. I'm thinking by just listening to the title and reading the picture that the book is about a tiny seed. So I'm just going to kind of look through the book, but the tiny seed sails on with the others. But the tiny seed does not go as fast as the others. But the tiny seed does not go as high as the others. Now the tiny seed is flying very low. The tiny seed is not eaten. What word is repeated over and over again, and we also see it in the title? Very good, the tiny seed. So the main idea, the story is mostly about a tiny seed. Very good, boys and girls. So when you're doing work, if the question asks you, what is another good title? It's asking you about the main idea. Okay? How I spent my summer vacation. By just hearing the title, what do you think this book is going to be mostly about? A summer vacation. Very good. Okay? Little Red Riding Hood. It's going to be mostly about a little girl, Little Red Riding Hood. So boys and girls, when you are reading, always take a minute, look at the title, think about the title, because that's going to help you with the main idea. So today, you have some pictures that looks like the cover of a book, and you're going to come up with the title of that book. And you wanted to make sure it goes with the picture. All right? So have a good day, and we can't wait to see your work. Bye, boys and girls.